The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So one of the things that they're trying to do with the college football playoff, outside of building revenue, is try to create some parity. And there was a tier list that was put out by Big Game Boomer yesterday. Had Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson at the top, and then other teams in tiers 2 through 6. Arkansas right now, he has as a tier 6 team. I don't expect that to be there much longer the way the hope this season and the future of this football program is headed. But what would you change in college football to help create some more parity so the same teams aren't there every single year? Moses Moody sat down with Mike Schmitz of ESPN.com, an NBA draft analyst, and they were just kind of going over, it felt like a John Gruden camp where they would go over plays that he made in college, mistakes that he made. It was a little short 2 or 3 minute interview that I enjoyed that I want to talk about this morning. Trey Knox put on his Instagram yesterday talking about businesses reaching out, the NCAA being able to pay, or excuse me, them being able to make money off their name, image, and likeness. And we want to give some business advice this morning and just kind of question what they should do when it comes to this whole process, because it is on the way. And then you're not going to want to miss 8 o'clock this morning. Got a little surprise for you. And then Clay Henry is going to be joining us at 7 o'clock, as he always does. Bruce Stan coming up at 7:20.
Yeah, it should be a fun morning. So a lot of good conversation here as we roll into a week. A lot of people, kind of pointing towards July 4th coming up, and kind of a midsummer break for a lot of people. So kind of a fun week here to talk about a lot of this stuff. You watched the College World Series last night?
I watched that, and
soak in game one. It's a little late start.
Watched the Clippers Suns game. Watched both. Didn't finish either of them, but yeah, it was delayed a little bit because of the rain. But Vanderbilt really took it to Mississippi State last night.
Well, State comes out, gets the home run in the top of the first, and does draw first blood, and then you think, well, they're gonna put up the gloves here. They're going to have a fight with Vandy, and then Vandy comes out, and Mississippi State's pitcher was terrible. I mean, they had to go through, get to the third pitcher to find someone to get it located where they wanted, and in the meantime, Vandy scored 7 at that spot, and then eventually, 8-2 was the final. I watched most of the game, but after about the first or second inning, there wasn't much to watch in that game. So.
And Vanderbilt came out and got hot, and the statistic that you brought up that ESPN also mentioned last night, the fact that Mississippi State is one of only 3 teams, Kansas State and Virginia Tech, that have never won a national championship, not just in the 3 major sports, but any sport. And I wonder if that's going to haunt Mississippi State. You think we have enough of our own problems in Arkansas when it comes to the athletic department, particularly in the 3 major sports. But hearing that stat and them talking about that on the broadcast, Carl Ravage, Eduardo Perez, and Kyle Peterson, I mean, that's just a tough stat to overcome based on how they played last night.
And that's not football, basketball, baseball. That's track, that's golf, just keep tennis, just keep going down the gymnastics, just keep talking all the school-sponsored sports that the NCAA crowns a national champion in, men's and women's, no natties. So, I mean, I know Arkansas doesn't have as many as any of us would like in the 3 major sports, but at least you've got a few to point to in the rafters at Bud Walton or at Reynolds Razorback Stadium, and you're still searching for one for the outfield wall for baseball, but at least there are some, and in your other sports, particularly track, you've won many. So State, 0 on the board.
We make Aggies jokes, we make other jokes when it comes to Ole Miss jokes, when it comes to lack of production producing national championships. Luckily enough, as Tommy mentioned, you have one for football. You have one for basketball. Still searching for that baseball national title. But, I mean, the jokes write themselves with Mississippi State, the fact that they don't have a single national championship. And maybe they overcome, because lighter last night, they're starting Rocker tonight, correct?
Well, they were having conversation last night about that. And Kyle Peterson said there's no way he would start Rocker tonight.
Well, maybe
he'd go with Little and then save Rocker for a game 3. He needs another day of rest. And their thought was you save Rocker for a third game if it's all on the line.
To give them more time off. So if they do have that opportunity, whoever Mississippi State has to face tonight, they'll have that pressure not only of being eliminated from the College World Series, but all their fans knowing that they have yet to win a national championship, not just in baseball, but every single sport. And that can haunt you regardless if they stay off social media. I mean, they know that. They know that personally. They know that as a team that the mounting pressure is on. And listen, props to Mississippi State for getting there to this point. They had a fantastic win over Texas this weekend in walk-off fashion, but it's going to be a tough one for the Bulldogs tonight.
Well, if you boil it down to just baseball, they're in the same boat Arkansas is in of being right there at the altar and going to be turned away. And so they're trying to figure out as a baseball program, and long-term coach Ron Polk, who I guess now it's the third season they've made this transition to their new head coach. Never, had a lot of success, been to many College World Series, but there's a lot of similarities in the success, but the lack of a national title between Arkansas and Mississippi State's program. But I don't really see a path or a way. I'd be very shocked if Mississippi State could win these last two. But we saw Oregon State do it to Arkansas in 2018, so never's a big word.
Got a text in here from our buddy Danny West at Hog Sports, says it's not over. Mississippi State could still win it. Yeah, they still could win it, and this has been a weird College World Series to this point, and I think you and I are both in agreement that we'd much rather see the Bulldogs win it, even though we both picked Vanderbilt. We just got lucky with that pick, perhaps, because NC State look to be headed there. Have you seen the NC State 2021 College World Series Championship shirts? I don't know who started those in production. That might have been a Barstool thing, but I've seen someone has put those in production. I know that there's going to be a flurry of orders to Raleigh, North Carolina, and surrounding areas, but I mean, it's just a bummer that you feel like the team of destiny, the underdog, didn't fully get a chance to participate and show out. And there's going to be an asterisk, in my opinion, around this College World Series based on what occurred these last couple of days.
I got to play in a golf tournament yesterday, and that was the conversation everybody was wanting to have, was NC State, the NCAA, and what should have happened. And I just keep coming back to the question, what do you want the NCAA to do in this scenario?
That's what no one had an answer yesterday when I asked.
And when you use further that, do you really want them to put a team with known positive cases on the field to play? No one has an answer. They don't like none of us. It all stinks. But I don't know what you really want the NCAA to do, other than do what they did, which was follow their rules that they laid out prior to all of this unfolding. But you can't sit here and say, well, they should have just let them play. You've got known positive tests. How can they put them on the field? That was the conversation. When you're at a golf tournament, you interact with a lot of people and get to talk to a lot of folks. And yesterday, that was the conversation everybody wanted to have.
Well, now the question I had, when you test student athletes, if you have been vaccinated, I didn't think, and maybe I need to reread the NCAA protocol, I didn't think that you had to get tested again.
As I read through Kendall, I haven't read their protocol, but as you read through Kendall Rogers' report, once you crossed a threshold with enough positives, then everybody on the team was open to testing. But I mean, it was horrible luck. And here's what I feared: if Arkansas had gotten there, something like this, something crazy would have derailed Arkansas from having a chance to win it all.
So, but correct me if I'm wrong, because you also read that report. 4 vaccinated players also tested positive.
You are correct. But they were only tested because some, I think, showed symptoms. But once you crossed the threshold, everyone was open to testing.
Okay.
It's a crazy deal. It's a crazy deal.
Yeah.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Do you remember the joy you felt as a kid about pizza night? Remember how good it smelled? You could taste it even before you opened the box. And then, that first bite. It was so good. Be the supper time savior. Order Jim's Razorback Pizza now. 434-3456. The best pizza in Fort Smith, or it's free.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craig.
Smith's in the backfield. They keep it on the ground with him coming left side. Smith's got a chance to get in. Touchdown, Arkansas. Traylon Smith.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
So we had a text from David on our video live stream talking about the changes he would make in college football, reduce scholarships from 85 to 75. What would you change in college football to create some more parity? Neither Tommy or I myself think that the expanded college football playoff is going to be able to do that. So what would you change to help kind of change, hopefully, the top-heavy college football right now? We'll get to that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by our friends at Dobson Fiber. If you're looking for an internet solution that can provide you high-speed internet that's dedicated service, if you're tired of buffering at work where you can't get things to upload or download in the time they used to, hey, how about gigabit fiber from Dobson Fiber? How about reliable telephone services as well, business telephone services and business telephone equipment solutions as well. Dobson Fiber can provide all of that for you. So give them a call. Same great local service you've always experienced from the previous company with Pinnacle Telecom. It's just now part of a bigger and broader network that can offer you more services with Dobson Fiber. 479-242-0000. The area's fastest internet is Dobson Fiber. 479-242-0000.
Big Game Boomer made a tier list of college football teams. Tommy, any arguments against having Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State as the only three teams in tier number one right now of college football?
Oklahoma would be maybe the other one you could argue to put up there as consistent as they've been. As bitter as those words come out of my mouth, you just can't argue their track record out of the Big 12. And but they have not really ever broke over in the playoff system to winning the national title. So I have no problem with them being in Tier 2, but they would probably be the next one in for me.
How many championships in the last 20 years has Oklahoma won?
One. 1999.
2000.
It was good, 99
so
season.
not even the last 20 years, because if you want to say 21 years. So that's where they're at right now. Is yes, they've been
Bob Stoops' second year? First or second year?
I think that's right. They've been in 2008 when they lost to Florida. They've lost to Alabama. They've lost to Clemson. They've lost to Georgia. And they've lost to LSU. I think those are the four times they've been in the college football playoff. But Georgia was really the only game that was close. It was that either overtime or double overtime game that was fantastic. Nick Chubb ran on the left side and took it to the house. But outside of that, as you brought up, they haven't been able to get over the hump. Now, this would be the year that Oklahoma can do it because they've got a lot of defense guys back. Spencer Rattler is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. We'll see. Now, tier number 2, he's got Georgia, LSU, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Oregon, and then Boise State for some reason. Boise State would be the one that I would put a tier below. I don't know. Now, maybe you say this, what would that have been, mid-2000s?
Yeah,
mid-2010s, I think you could make an argument for Boise State. I don't think you can do that anymore. But any argument against Georgia, LSU, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Oregon.
The sheet you printed is not printed in color, and you know all these logos. You look at that one, I'm like, is that Boise State in there? I had to kind of question the logo there a little bit. But yeah, I'm with you. That's the one on tier 2 that doesn't seem to fit. The rest of them seem fine. Oregon, I would question a little bit. The last few years, they've been a little more inconsistent than they were.
And went to the college football playoff with Marcus Mariota, went to a national championship, lost to Jameis Winston and company. My question, or did they beat them? No, they beat Jameis Winston, lost to Ohio State. My whole question when I saw this initially is how do we cycle through? Because I think the NFL does a good job of the draft picks and the scheduling format of how they try and at least create parity within their league. The New England Patriots for the longest period of time have dominated. Now the Kansas City Chiefs seem to be that team that's going to be there every single year. We'll see what happens with the Buccaneers, several others, but that's what the NFL does with the scheduling, draft picks, and that. You don't have that necessarily in college football. So they're trying to – college football playoff is probably made for two reasons, the expanded one. Money, like you're talking about for name and likeness, and to at least have the appearance of creating parity, which we don't think it's going to do. What can you do to help create parity in college football? My first thing is actually punish the teams, the blue bloods that are caught cheating or seemingly, like that North Carolina incident where they had a fake class where they had college basketball players and other athletes taking the class. They come in, they fill out their name, and they get an A. NCAA didn't do squat. It's stuff like that. I will see what comes out of this LSU Title IX mess that's just going on in Baton Rouge right now. That it just seems like to me that anytime that you have a blue blood program, regardless if it's football, basketball, or baseball, and something goes wrong or something goes awry, it gets swept under the rug. You don't hear a peep about it. There's not a pending investigation, but nothing concrete. No punishment, or the punishment is very, very underwhelming to what it should actually be. That ticks me off when I see consistently that type of reaction and that type of non-punishment from the NCAA.
But you look at these top 1 and 2 tier programs on this ranking, how many investigations or even hints of cheating do you even really get that other than just people are making the blanket statement presuming Alabama's cheating? There's never really been any strong allegations that Alabama's doing anything appropriate. They're just beating everybody in the recruiting game, which means they beat everybody on the field. I mean, you look at Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. There's not been a lot of major issues as far as recruiting violations and issues with those 3 programs. They're at a point they've got so much success in Tuscaloosa, they don't need to cheat. I mean, the players
you really think that? Because I
just don't know how you can go a decade and not a whiff of it.
Well, if you're not looking for it, Tommy, why would the NCAA want it?
You don't have to look for it. Your competition looks for it. Most of these, the NCAA doesn't have anyone out looking for anything. All of these are turned in by one of 2 people. The other schools that are competing against you are yourself.
And your own compliance department. I don't think, Tommy, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think the Alabama compliance department, if they see something go wrong within their organization, within their athletics department, is going to turn themselves in.
You think Auburn wouldn't turn them in if they knew something wasn't going on? You think Georgia wouldn't turn them in if they knew something going on? Well, LSU, keep going down the list.
You had that high school coach talk about both Georgia and Alabama, how there's been the track record that he said, I'm forgetting which one, that's paid players. To me, I don't think the NCAA would make a harsh push when that's their baby daddy. That's their moneymaker. Why would they want to pursue something that could hurt their product and their money?
They don't make any money off. The NCAA doesn't make money off college football.
The college football, like the NCAA doesn't make a cent off college football?
No, they don't govern college football. The College Football Playoff Committee governs college football. But they don't. The NCAA doesn't get a slice of it. Why do they care? The revenue doesn't flow back to them.
That their premier program in their sport. That would.
There's no money. I mean, it's not about money with the NCAA and football. Now, maybe basketball. You can make this case
for basketball,
with basketball and these
North
other sports.
Carolina.
But football, the money that didn't hold water.
That they don't make a cent off of that? Like that
Zero.
You wouldn't have the perception of
we
the
make
best
more money
team in the
off
sport?
of it.
Well, I know that, the SEC and stuff.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Business is back, and your locally owned TGI Fridays is now hiring for multiple positions. For over 26 years, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has been locally owned and a fun place to work, and we want you to come be a part of our family. Apply in person or message us online on our TGI Fridays Fort Smith Facebook page. If you've been out of work and are needing a job, or you're just looking for a career change, we have multiple positions available in the front and back of the house, and we want to welcome you to our family at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith.
I chose Actually Air just because I've always wanted to work for the best. I asked a lot of folks at my church who the best heat and air company is, and 90% of the people I talked to said Ashley was the best. So I wanted to work for the best.
Great things are happening at Ashley Air. We're looking for skilled service and installation technicians for our Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations. We're willing to pay the right person up to $5,000 in hiring bonuses. To apply online, visit our website at ashley.air.com.
AshleyAir.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
There are lots of benefits to getting your COVID vaccine. First, you're protecting yourself and the community from a deadly pandemic. And now you also get your choice of a free hunting or fishing license or a lottery ticket with a chance to win up to $1 million. It's a win-win. The only thing you have to lose is the mask. Let's vaccinate Arkansas. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney in Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Whoo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson, quarterback sneak. They push the pile. Did he get in? No signal yet. That's a touchdown. It sure looks like it. Now they give the signal. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
If we lose tonight, this will be the last call you hear on this program. I'll probably be dead. Now, if I live through it, I'll call back.
Kevin Kopps has picked up another award in college baseball. Not only is he a D1 baseball All-American, he's also their National Player of the Year. We'll get into that and some other headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush.
We're brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance, all there with a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell, and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping as well. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
General Ben, what would you change in college football to create some more parity?
General Ben?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy. What would you change in college football to create some more parity? That's a question you wanted to ask this morning.
Whew. I believe I'd get the CIA, the FBI, or anyway, somebody super intelligent, maybe get some guys from the KGB together to decide to get together the strategy of how to bust up the way that teams like the ones y'all mentioned, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, and Oklahoma, but they don't do it as well as the other three. And some years, LSU, of course, they got all their recruits from LSU that they don't have to recruit much outside. But anyway, I'm just saying, here's what I would change is bust up the organization that they've got in the way that the fans, not the institutions that I just mentioned, but not the university, but the fans pay players to the fans hire people. I don't know if they're full time, whatever, but they pay them a lot of money, and they're the head person, head lady, head guy, whatever, and there's people under them, and their job is to get the money from the fans and get it to the players without getting caught. And they're doing an excellente job of doing that now. And then also that, what y'all been saying, I was going to say too, that the NCAA don't want it to stop or catch them, because those teams are the teams that make the NCAA the most profit, the most money, selling the most memorabilia, TV ratings, and all like that when they play, and them being so great like they are. Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, and Oklahoma is way back fourth. But that's the only way you're ever going to change and make parity is to have somebody smart enough. Because these people that are on this committee for each one of them teams, and it's their job to pay the players to come there as a recruit, stay there, don't leave, and if they got bonuses if they play good or whatever, when them people that are hired to do that, they never ever will be at a function for them colleges. So that's one reason why they don't get caught, connected, or whatever. You'll never see them at a Alabama Tea Party or whatever. That's stupid to say. But anyway, just whatever function it is, they probably don't have tea parties in Alabama, but I'm just saying, whatever it is, get drunk at the Funk or whatever, they'll never be at anything, not a single game or anything. They don't have anything to do with their program. So,
Gentlemen, appreciate the call, buddy. That's my whole perception. It could be a completely misguided one, but I feel like the NCAA, the institutions, certain conferences, whichever blue blood of baseball, football, basketball squeak by, they allow these schools extra leniency because they know the money that they pull in with the television networks. We talked about earlier that the potential new college football playoff format at 12 teams, I think the San Mercury News had that valued at $1.9 million. They want the Ohio States. They want the Alabamas. They want the big-time programs that draw in the eyes, draw in the casual college football fan, not just their own fans, but the fans of college football. And as much as we like the underdogs, as much as we like the Cinderellas, they don't have the same appeal to most people. Now, I enjoy seeing a Cinderella. I enjoy seeing an underdog compete, sometimes win. We know that doesn't happen often. That's because that's what they're labeled as. But that is my opinion on the whole matter, Drew. It's just I feel like they skirt by in these situations when they either have evidence or have inclinations to go look here, look there, and they just kind of say, you know what, we probably shouldn't pursue this. And again, that's just my opinion. It's not necessarily validated with stuff I've seen firsthand. That's just where I'm going to stick this morning.
I think that's how it always feels when it comes to NCAA and especially investigations, violations, and everything else that most people hate the NCAA for, is that they come down harder on us than they do them. And you see it throughout college athletics, from football, basketball, every single level. I mean, think about the fact of the matter, basically, the University of Memphis and the University of Louisville got the same punishment, had to, quote, take down a banner, retract all your wins. Memphis had a guy that didn't take his own ACT. Louisville had strippers and hookers and were basically giving prospective players prostitutes to come to Louisville. You have now bags of money at Tennessee. Is anything actually going to happen out of that at once? Josh Heupel jumped in. You see the stuff that went on at Ole Miss, when all factuality, while there was a lot of rumors, but the only thing that really came out of it was basically a guy got to sleep on a couch and went on a hunting trip. But we see what goes on at Kansas. We see what happens at LSU, why anyone at LSU is still employed. I have absolutely no idea, from Title IX to paying players, the FBI investigation, to you think it, you name it, go back to Les Miles there. Now, that's affected the stuff at Kansas with Jeff Long. Yeah, Jeff Long's out, but the ultimate punishment for what that is going to happen never fully feels like it hits them as hard as it do us.
Especially when your programs, like say in Memphis, like say in Arkansas, have to have more of a consistency because it's harder for them to get back on top. Exactly. Let's get into some headlines this morning. Kevin Kopps, again, first-team All-American D1 baseball, also wins the D1 National Player of the Year. Just add another trophy to his mantle. Now, if you want him also to win the Golden Spikes Award, you can still vote on that. So if you're really, and this is going to come out in July at some point, forgetting the exact day. I honestly don't know if the exact day has been announced yet, but this is something that you can still vote on the Golden Spikes Award if you think Kevin Kopps, your stud pitcher, deserves it. Traylon Burks is a Pro Football Focus second-team All-American. Now, we had Phil Steele on yesterday. He is a first-team All-American for Phil Steele, second-team All-American for Pro Football Focus. They have him inside the top 15 for their mock draft for next year. Jalen Catalon gets an honorable mention, so also giving him credit. We'll see where Jalen ends his season. But we've talked about Grant Morgan, we've talked about Jalen Catalon, and we've talked about Traylon Burks. Those three individuals are going to find themselves on a lot of All-SEC and a lot of All-American teams this year. Former Arkansas infielder Tim Carver has been named the head baseball coach at Springdale High. I saw this from Scotty Bordelon of Whole Hog Sports. He was a coach at Mountain Home for 4 years, now is heading up to Northwest Arkansas. We started the program with what happened last night. Vanderbilt gets going early. Now, Mississippi State gets a home run in the first, and then Vandy and Jack Leiter just take it to them. They win 8-2 last night. This is kind of cool that it is two SEC teams. There's been 4 other times, I think, in College World Series history that there's been 2 SEC teams. I think back in 2011 when you almost got there. Vandy was third. South Carolina, maybe LSU was the other team, but a lot of SEC.
That would have been in the South Carolina kind of range
heyday.
Of years.
Yeah, so that was, I just thought that was cool that there's a lot of SEC involvement in this College World Series, as there often is, as the premier baseball conference, the premier football conference, and hopefully at some point the premier basketball conference in the country. It would be kind of cool because Arkansas has the football tie-in. They have the baseball. If they can get to a point, Drew, where they own basketball circuit as well, I don't know if that's ever been done in the history of the 3 major sports where you've had a conference that owns the dominance of every single. I have to go back and look and see the different years, see them coupled together, and see which teams were winning the national championships, going to the Final Fours, getting to the College World Series. But the SEC has a unique opportunity that I don't know if it's ever been done before.
They do have a unique opportunity, like you said, but to actually go back and kind of see dominance, it kind of feels like it would have to be something of a feel. Now, you know the SEC is dominant in baseball because obviously the final two teams are in the final series of the College World Series. But you can also go back to a few years ago when Oregon State and other non-SEC teams have won it, and SEC baseball was still, head and shoulders, I think, above most other conferences. So the feel of it would be kind of a bigger stake in who kind of controls that sport than actually who wins it. Yeah, winning the titles are important, but you can always tell that even if there was a year where Alabama or LSU or Georgia or anybody in the SEC didn't win the national championship, it would just be like one down year. SEC still owns football. So it's all about the feel and the perspective of that conference and that sport at the time, regardless of, I think, who is ultimately the last team standing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm hoping at some point in time you can get with the Southeastern Conference. All right, other headlines to get to this morning. Talking about dominance, Alabama has had so many great recruits over the years come in and just perform. Nick Saban has done a great job recruiting. Dre Kirkpatrick, who was recruited for the Crimson Tide in 2009, now has a son, the 2024 son, Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., that's now getting recruited by Alabama. Make it stop. Now you've got the son. Dre Sr. was a 5-star, if you remember watching him play, an absolute beast. I'm forgetting who he lit up in 2011. It was either Jarius Wright or Joe Adams, but could pack a punch, could just lay the hammer on someone. And now his son, who plays both running back and cornerback, if I remember that correctly, is getting recruited by Alabama. Hopefully he decides that he doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, or you're going to have to be dealing with another Kirkpatrick in years to come. Also, last headline for you this morning. I know we have a lot of Garth. I know we have a lot of Garth Brooks fans that listen to the program, and many of you are familiar with Make-A-Wish. When you have someone that reaches out and maybe on their, unfortunately, the last few days of their life, last year, last couple months, well, in a situation, I don't know how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson found out about this lady. I don't know if she had a friend or just someone that reached out to him, but the really good longtime wrestler and now stud movie actor performed his friend Garth's song. Here is The Rock singing a little Garth Brooks this morning.
This old highway's getting longer. Seems there ain't no end. I'm so sorry. I sing in keys that don't exist. I'm going to let Garth sing. He will be honored to know that you are a fan of his. Thank you. Stay strong and keep inspiring all those around you, including us. We love you, Missy. Stay strong.
Drew, what would you give The Rock's performance to sing to Missy this morning? What are we rating that?
It was a good attempt, but honestly, it sounded fake to me. Like he kind of faked sung it. Like I feel like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's so talented at everything that he does. You're telling me he can't carry a tune in a bucket? That's the one thing he can't do?
I guess so. Apparently so, according to that. Now,
really proves that we all are just humans, right?
Bradley Cooper, I think we've brought this up on the program before. Good-looking, smart actor, and then, of course, what a star is born. Oh, now he can sing, and so that's just like it's just like give me a break. Like give me something that he's not talented at. He's talented at enough stuff. Give me one of his talents. Give me one of his traits. But
can Bradley Cooper do a 3-hour morning talk show every day?
He probably could. I don't know if he could do it about sports, but I think the guy has could be able to do it in something. I think he would have the knack to do that. All right, I want to remind everyone, make sure you're subscribing to the Hit That Line podcast network, brought to you by Breeden RV. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search Hit That Line. make sure that you're subscribing. Make sure you're rating and reviewing. Give us a 5-star. Help us get our content out there on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Still don't know who I'm going to interview for Trusting the Process this week. Did you enjoy that last week?
Yeah, I did. I did enjoy it.
Give
I
our
hope that a
audience
lot
a
of
little-
people did enjoy kind of learning about me and, what my background is. And while, I can quickly, shortly tell you what my experience has been. I talked about when y'all introduced me 2 weeks ago that I've been in sports talk radio for 7.5 years. Well, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean that I've done everything that I kind of need to do to get to this point in my career? And I think that having that long form medium with you last week was a great way for me to kind of show the people the journey that I've really been on that's led me here to ESPN Arkansas. And I hope they enjoyed learning about me, and hopefully they'll enjoy listening to me for the next couple years to come, if not more.
Yeah, so that's it's a fun process. I think we're 25. I think Drew was 25 episodes down, and we're going to be continuing on that through football season as well. All right, this next conversation I want to dive into, it kind of stems off a post that Trey Knox had. Now, I think this is a text that I've gotten from a couple people this morning, one from Nate, one from Woody. Nate texted in regards to paying student athletes or them making money off their name, image, and likeness. These kids are going to care more about the money than they are the play on the field. Nate, I agree and disagree with that take because I think there are some players that are never going to put money in the focus. They're always going to have that for the love of the game mentality, but there's going to be some student athletes, regardless of sport, that are going to take that approach. They're going to take it as a business. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking it as a business. And I think the perfect prime example conversation we'll get into coming up is Moses Moody. He was very businesslike in his approached every question that he had in the offseason as a future question that he could be approached by an NBA team. And his dad, we've had Kareem on before. He tutored him. He kind of walked him through that steps. And that's why Moses was very, very precise, very delicate, not delicate, but he was articulate in the way he made answers. And it wasn't just that in college. It was, if you ask him stuff in high school, he's been that way for quite some time. He's mature many beyond his years because he's preparing for the next level. Hopefully we see him drafted at the end of July, early in that draft, hopefully top 10. That is a prime example of what to do. But I think there's going to be people that out there, again, it doesn't matter the sport, that are just going to be gunning for the bag, gunning for trying to make as much money as possible. And in my opinion, I think it's important, assuming that you have parents that you trust when it comes to that area of expertise. And there some that are positive in that background, some that are others. I would very much trust my dad. I ask my dad for advice on a weekly basis, regardless if it's money or just work advice, whatever it may be. Now, I don't always heed his advice. I don't always take it, but I always have him in the background. Some parents, you don't want necessarily to talk about money and income. I know Lamar Jackson, his mom has been a big part, if not the sole, but one of the main negotiators for his new contract. And if Lamar trusts his mom to make that financial decision, now she's not going to make that solo. She'll have agent or agents or lawyers kind of look and see, make sure the detail and the stuff within is precise. But I understand that. So now you're getting in a situation. Again, this comes off something that Trey posted. He said, according to the NCAA, student athletes will finally be given the opportunity to receive compensation for our own name, image, and likeness. Soon we will be able to create our own brands, sell signed jerseys, and other memorabilia, ECT. And he said, if you want to reach out, my DMs are open and you can reach out to me personally. So here's what I would say about Trey. Trey had a solid freshman year and a really bad sophomore year. In my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, at 877-377-6963, Trey's focus should not be on this. Now, you can have this in the background, you can have this in noise, but Trey's focus should be that he's got to perform to even have people that want to market him. Like, after last season, I don't know. Now, maybe I'm completely misguided this morning, but you as a business owner out there listening, or you as a fan, are you really going to pay that much money to market Trey Knox? Now, Traylon Burks, completely different story. Grant Morgan, completely different story. Jalen Catalon, completely different story. Those are preseason All-Americans. Trey Knox has not made a single preseason All-SEC team. Now, he has the ability. We know that. We saw it freshman year. He has the size. He has the stature at 6'5" to make those type of plays. But his mentality, his tunnel vision should be on the season ahead and how he can get better, how he can connect with KJ Jefferson, how he can be a massive part of Kendall Browse's offense. That should be his focus this season, not on trying to make money, because frankly, Drew, there's not a huge market for Trey Knox and advertisements and endorsements after his sophomore slump.
I mean, let's be honest. There's not a huge market out there for a lot of these guys. I mean, we're going to be talking about, some people will make money. Some people will make good, decent money with the endorsements, name, image, and likeness and stuff that's going to come in effect, I believe, starting tomorrow or later in this week, July 1st. Nobody's paying the backup. Nobody is putting the right guard as the face of their car dealership. Nobody is putting the the holder or the long snapper to sell mattresses. I mean, it's only going to affect about 1% of college athletes, and pretty much your quarterbacks, your running backs, your dynamic wide receivers, a defensive linebacker or edge rusher here and there is going to make some money. But for the most part, it's not really going to – I don't think it's going to affect the sport that much in general, because not everybody – there's not enough money to go around, and not everybody is going to have the same value. One guy might be worth $100 an hour, while another guy is worth $500 an hour, and another guy, heck, I'll pay you $50 to wear a jersey and for people to come up and ask exactly who you are, just to get somebody. Maybe somebody sees an Arkansas jersey, they have no idea who you are, but they'll walk up at least and say hi and come into the business. That guy's making $50, while KJ Jefferson, if he has a outstanding year, which I think a lot of us are expecting him to do, could make $1,000 to stand there, because we know what he looks like, we know who he is. And if that's your goal right now, especially coming off of, as you would say, a sophomore slump, is to go ahead and make money, how about you make sure you're worth money before you worry about making it? You have to have a product to sell before you can sell it.
And that's been my whole debate, because the money will come not just at the next level, but now. And I think that, for example, I'll go back to Joe Burrow's stellar season that he had 2 seasons prior. Joe Burrow didn't even have a cell phone. His cell phone broke or something, and his parents were like, "Do you need to get a new one?" It's like, don't worry about it. That was kind of a funny story, but Joe Burrow was at the time not just the most marketable person in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Outside of Drew Brees and Zion Williamson, he was the most marketable person in sports in the entire state of Louisiana.
But that was for 1 year, really.
Yeah, and to me, you didn't hear much about Joe Burrow talking about or focusing on that. He was the number 1 draft pick. The sponsorships were all in. Now, JT in Hot Springs brings up a good point. He says, if Trey doesn't promote himself, who else will? That's fair, and you don't think you do both. You can, but JT, I hope you don't think this. Trey's focus should be on the season ahead. Why would you want, I'm trying to think how to say this, Trey should be much more focused, not that you can't do both, because that's fair, but he should be much more focused on having a stellar junior season and making up for the lack of sophomore season he had. We'll come back to this. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, will join us. Tommy will hop back in here soon. Hour number 2, the Morning Rush, is next.
Finding the places in life that give you joy is what Toyota is all about. Is your idea of fun filled with adventures? Like mountain biking with your good buddies. Toyota has SUVs like RAV4 and Highlander, ready to take you wherever that next adventure lies. Or maybe one of our sporty, stylish sedans, like a Camry or Corolla, to get you anywhere in style.
And we're here.
Oh, I love the theater.
Try to not fall asleep this time.
What? Me? Or maybe your happy place is in the great outdoors, and Toyota trucks can take you camping, fishing, or whatever you love doing. Dependable Tundra and Tacoma are built to get you to the middle of nowhere and back.
Throw another log.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
You can trust. Offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Come one, come all for the new Under the Big Top menu at your locally owned TGI Fridays. It's food and fun for everyone with new circus-inspired items like the new Whiskey Glazed Donut Burger, the new famous Whiskey Glazed Skewer, and the new Cotton Candy Cosmo. The patio is open, so come by and enjoy the great happy hour specials at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. You can order online for curbside pickup by calling 479-484-0906 or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Frank Roll Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Roll Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
chance of showers and some scattered thunderstorms, especially across the north today. Our high this afternoon will be right around the upper 80s to lower 90s. A slim chance of showers or storms tonight, overnight lows near 70. And then the best chance of showers and storms will be across the north again on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Little put his tee down at the Arkansas 43-yard line and then backed up his claim.
It's a good snap, and Bruce Hay got a great hold on it, and the rest was up to me, and I kicked it, and I got a good kick on it, and the rest we just stood there and watched it go through the upright.
The 67-yard field goal was true and tied the NCAA record, a record that still stands today.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 67 days.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's hour 2 of The Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. We've had several conversations this morning already. We've yet to talk about Moses Moody sitting down with Mike Schmitz of ESPN.com, just kind of going through his process. It's like a Gruden camp type thing. We'll get into that. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, will join us as well. Get back into what changes can be made in college football to help the sport, and then also some advice for student athletes as they enter themselves into the business world. And this morning, we are brought to you by Razorback Camper Sales. Hey, summer camping season, it's not almost here, it's here. And not only do they have a huge selection of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups, Razorback Camper Sales also offer full prep and setup at no extra cost, so you can leave the lot and start camping immediately. You'll have access to the best parts and service department in the state, and they're the oldest family-owned RV dealer in Arkansas. They've been in business for over 50 years. Come see why our customers are so happy in Hot Springs or online at RazorbackCamperSales.com. That's RazorbackCamperSales.com. Clay, good to have you in this morning as always. And Tommy and I discussed, we don't anticipate the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams is really going to change the sport that much. And parity, this was a text from Keith in Fort Smith to help potential with parity. No preseason national rankings. Don't rank teams until week 6. I don't hate that idea. I know that money and stuff goes into that. What would you change if you were the czar of college football or the czar of the NCAA to help create more parity within the sport?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you can do. I think that the thought that they would reduce scholarship numbers. At one time it was 40, then it was 30, now it's 25, as far as initial signees, and that has not done it. I don't know. I mean, it's you could make it a walk-on sport, then it would be really interesting, because I think then you'd probably you'd see a lot of players that didn't want to go to college if it was a walk-on sport. But it sure looks like it's headed the other direction, where it's going to be a pay situation.
With that question, I know that the National Basketball Association, after 1 year you can go, and I'm forgetting the timeline on it, but there are going to be a certain point where you don't even have to go to a year. Would that help or hurt parity in college football if you could play football 1 year, Tommy, and then go straight to the NFL? And I know the embodiment, it's different because the manner and the physicalness of the sport. But do you think that would hurt or help parity of college football if you just made it a 1 year and, hey, you can go to the NFL after that?
Well, in theory, it would help. Do the best players go to the best schools? I think we'd all say yes to that. So in theory, the best players would move on faster. But I don't think that, because, like I said, the nature of the sport, that's going to work. We're all trying to figure out how to level the playing field. And, the idea that there's fatigue with Alabama playing Clemson for the national title and Ohio State mixing in there every now and then, that people are worn out on that. I still don't think that's the ultimate reason why they're looking to expand the college football playoff.
How about money sound?
Well, I think they knew what I think they knew what the Supreme Court's ruling was going to be about enhancing compensation. They know there's more lawsuits still to come. They know all of that's on the way, and they got to find other avenues to get revenue. I don't think this is at all, or at least goal number one, Clay. It's not about trying to make sure Alabama and Clemson are no longer on the mountaintop. It's how do we fund all these other avenues and maintain as ADs and administrators and all these things, these lush salaries we got. That's what it's about.
Only took me about 15 seconds to find that.
Timely drop there. Thank you. So
yeah, well, I think that's exactly right, Tommy. And we
parity sounds good, but that's not what they're really after.
No, it's not. They're trying to quiet the crowd that's that's clamoring for more inclusion, and that's all it is, more inclusion, because their plan to give the top teams buys isn't going to take them off the mountaintop. Exactly. I mean, they're doing anything but that, and I don't think that we will see, as this plays out, that the best teams are going to suddenly be upset right and left.
Yeah.
And because whenever there has been, someone like Cincinnati or you can name a couple others probably, they've got smoked. I mean, it's been one and done for those teams. It's, they got to come to the party, but it wasn't much of a party for them.
And that argument, or that part of the argument, is, the Central Floridas of the world haven't had an opportunity, that we want the opportunity for the non-Power 5 schools to get in. But I think that just fits the argument. But that at the end of the day, the ones that have feasted at the top of college football, that don't want to take big pay cuts when the money has to be redirected to athletes 2, 3, 5 years from now, whenever that begins to happen. Mm-hmm. That money's got to come from somewhere. If the budgets are still at 130, 140, 150 million, where do you fund that other $20 million or $25 million in your athletic department? They don't want to start with administrative pay cuts, so we got to find more money somewhere.
Yeah, and as soon as we get started with this 12-team playoff, there'll be great screams, why not 16?
Yeah.
It's just it'll be, the first time somebody gets left out that they think they should have been probably in the middle of the 12 and they're 13th, they'll say, well, then if we had 16, we wouldn't have this problem, because all the other divisions do have 16 teams. And if they can do it, why can't we? And, to be honest, I don't know why they didn't go to 16. I mean, I really don't. And the bye thing looks like that's encouraging the upper echelon. I mean, I don't get that.
You don't go to 16 now because then you have nowhere to expand later. So you go to 12
I
now.
guess so.
You go to 12 now, so you can go to 16 later.
Yep.
So that's how you squeeze the last little bit of juice out of the lemon.
I'd probably agree to that.
3 years from now, 5 years from now, when the next outcry for expansion will come.
Will there? I mean, how long is that going to take before we decide, hey, you know what, 12's not enough. We have to go to 16. We've got to go 32.
When's this going to start? 2023? 2023 and a half is when this outcry will begin.
I'm just going to bang on the gavel until Arkansas is actually.
No, we're already doing it. We're already doing it.
Yeah, we're not even there yet. We're talking
We have not waited, Ty. I don't think.
It's just
I don't
here.
think you just back up 30 seconds. We did not wait. We started there. Yeah.
Yes, the outcry, I can already hear it, will be, well, these top 4 teams should get the right to host on campus. That will be the deal, because that's the one element of this format that's being proposed. And I think we got to continue to use the word proposed, because none of this is concrete yet. Those teams like Bama and Clemson and ones that would presumably be top 4 seeds, those second-round games aren't on campus. Only those first-round games that wouldn't involve the top 4 teams getting buys. Well, that will be the outcry. Well, those teams are being cheated of the opportunity to host a playoff game on campus. I can already hear it. That will be the argument.
I tend to not feel sorry for fans in Columbus, Ohio,
We
Tuscaloosa,
don't get to put
Alabama.
our laser lights on display in Tuscaloosa one more time. That will be the argument.
I'm with Clay. I don't know how that ever got through the SEC.
We're brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is their number. 2-year price guarantee when you call WOW now, plus tons of free extras, free equipment, free installation, free voice-activated remotes, free movie channels, and you get the Dish Anywhere app, and you get a free Google Security Nest camera. That's a $350 value. Tons of reasons to sign up now, but a 2-year price guarantee is the best. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Bruce Dan, Pradco Fishing, joins us next.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
It's time for the largest music festival in the River Valley, the Peacemaker Music Festival, featuring Cody Johnson, Paul Coffin, Muscadine Bloodline, Colby Cooper, and many more. The Peacemaker Music Festival, July 30th and 31st. For tickets and more info, visit peacemakerfest.com. Let's do this, Peacemakers!
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The first thing people notice when they drive up to your home or walk in any room of your house is the color. And if you're looking for the perfect color and the perfect paint, you'll find it at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The Paint Store in Van Buren gives you hometown service from people who know what they're talking about. You don't have to chase them down to get help at the Paint Store. They're always there to help you get that perfect color and that perfect match for your project. If you're looking for the perfect paint color, it's at the Paint Store, 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top-shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Woo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers. Beer in Texas. St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Corral going to throw far side. Pass is intercepted. Hudson Clark with the interception. He went down right away, but Hudson Clark with the pick.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Back here on the Morning Rush, getting closer and closer to college football. 67 days out, you heard at the top of our open Steve Little's kick back against Texas in, I believe, 1977. That still holds up to this day as it's either tied or still first for the longest kick in college football history. We'll touch on that and some more stuff with Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing in just a sec.
Hey, we're brought to you by the Fenceman, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fencing project. I can tell you they built some fences for us, and you'll be happy with the work they do. Custom-built gates, fencing, automatic gates, any kind of fencing project you have in mind, the Fenceman can do it, and they have 18-month same as cash financing available as well. If you need new fencing, gates, or anything involving a fence, call our buddies at the Fenceman, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fenceman, he ain't afraid of no work.
So we'll talk some college football coming up, but do want to reflect on College World Series Game 1, not just Game 1, but what happened over the weekend a little bit, because Glenn got really Clay's take on NC State and Bruce's take as well. So this all shakes out, and now we have Mississippi State and Vanderbilt competing. They get the win last night. Vandy does 8-2. Really just took over that game. I think the fourth time, guys, in NCAA College World Series history, you've had two SEC teams, so pretty good stat there. But you don't think they're done. You said resiliency is the term that you use, and I think that's a pretty good term to describe Mississippi State in this postseason.
You know, you saw the game against Texas. They had to win, and they just managed to. I guess Bednar had a real strong game, and they brought in their reliever to kind of shut them down. And Texas had the bat swinging. I mean, they killed Tennessee, and you kind of thought they had a path to the title game, but Mississippi State just kind of scrapped it out. They got great fan attendance, and just keep finding a way to win. So conventional wisdom said Vanderbilt, odds-on favorite going in. You got to think with the Leiter and Rocker combination, and I mean they're just stacked. They got guys that can go catch balls in the outfield. They're a great infielding team, and they got great relief, and they can hit the ball at any time up and down the lineup. So I guess you still got to say they're the favorite to win. Which hats off to Tim Corbin. I guess it would be a back-to-back, even though there was a year of COVID in between, but. You got to feel, the question going in the NCAA tournament we had on this show was how good is the SEC with Arkansas being the number one seed. And I think you're finding out how good the SEC really was. Everybody else, ACC kind of had a run in the tournament. You saw Virginia with some good pitching performances. Obviously, NC State was kind of a sleeper that came through as a non-hosting team. And, anybody at Arkansas that saw NC State, you have to appreciate their coaching, their hitting, and the pitching they had. So you hate it for them as kids, as competitors, that they weren't able to do I guess, what they set out to do and finish it on the field. But, rules are rules. And I think, we've been talking about, was that right? Was that wrong? And, the NCAA probably did the right thing.
Yeah, that's the only conversation people, on the street when you're I was at a golf tournament yesterday, and people come up and you just start talking sports, and that's the conversation people want to have. Clay, we hadn't talked to you about this yet since you've just been on a few minutes, but what were your thoughts as that unfolded and just the bizarre drama of NC State and the way it all kind of unfolded for them in the wee hours of the morning over the weekend?
Yeah, I was just stunned for them, and it really came close to being a nightmare for the NCAA. Had North Carolina State won that game 3 days ago, the tournament would have been over because they were, declared out. And so you wouldn't have had a winner's bracket. You wouldn't have had a winner from that pool. So you would have had you would have had one team standing, which I guess would be Mississippi State, and the tournament would be over. And I think then you really would have had a mess and a lot of screaming if you wouldn't have had a championship series, because that could have very easily happened when you consider that was a 3-1 game.
That was the question we had yesterday. What would have happened if they had
the tournament would have been over?
Okay, so
you would have had no one to play. I mean, you would not. I mean, when you're eliminated, you're eliminated. You don't get another. You don't get you don't push that other team forward.
Now I read where Texas said they would have just declared the national title, even though they lost.
Would they have
even though they lost?
Even though they lost, Texas was just going to declare the national championship.
Yeah, they would have done that, but it wouldn't.
Would you have been okay with that?
Recognized. It would not have been recognized. It wouldn't have made it very far. They would have. The only place where that would have been recognized as a championship is the Longhorn Network.
Is that one of those alleged Alabama football national championships that I've heard about that I haven't actually gone in and researched and dissected, Clay?
Yeah, somehow that's probably about right. Yeah, but those were Alabama teams that were, they had some. There was a reason for all of those, like they were ranked number one, and there wasn't another poll. So I mean, Texas, there's no rhyme or reason for them to have that. The thing about the North Carolina State deal is that they had some players that were COVID negative, but because of their roommates or whatever other reasons, they weren't allowed to come to the stadium, and those players had all tested negative and had been vaccinated. So, it just was a strange situation, and I can understand their grief and how they're upset. But I want to tell you guys, that could have happened to Arkansas just as well. Arkansas
it would have happened to Arkansas. It would have happened to Arkansas.
Yeah, so because they're not 100% vaccinated, they were just a little over 75%, and some of their star players were not vaccinated, from what I'm told. So it could have very easily happened to any other team, because I don't think, from what I'm told, there are no teams that went to Omaha that were 100% vaccinated. And there's nothing you can do to tell a player you have to take the vaccine.
So you brought up the fact that the SEC now has 2 teams, and it really shows how this conference as a whole baseball-wise. Drew and I were talking earlier how you've got football, you've got baseball. Maybe at some point you get all 3 in basketball, but football-wise, Tommy, you brought up Oklahoma's dominated the Big 12. Kansas, for the most part. Now, I know it's lapsed a couple years, but they've dominated the Big 12 in basketball. You have these same consistent teams. And, Clay, you jump in on this too. When you look at college football and what it's been the last couple years, there's only 3 Tier 1 teams, and you could kind of make an argument for Oklahoma, but they've gotten swatted for the most part in the college football playoff. It's Ohio State, it's Clemson, it's Alabama. And this upcoming season, Alabama, highly preseason ranked, Clemson, highly preseason ranked, Ohio State, highly preseason ranked. Now, that no Trevor Lawrence, no Justin Fields, and we'll see what happens with Alabama, and no Mac Jones. So you got transition in quarterbacks, but I think all of us anticipate that 3 of them are probably going to end up in the college football playoff. That's not exciting to me. Is it exciting to y'all that we almost know the outcome before it actually happens this upcoming season?
Well, I would disagree with Tier 1, the teams that you named. I would say that there's one team. If you look over the last, Nick Saban's record is all by itself. There is nothing. I mean, I do not think Clemson has been there consistently as Alabama. I mean, it's just, the number of, how many does Dabo have? 2?
They've lost, let's see,
I'm talking about national championships.
I think that's right. Deshaun's got
so
Deshaun
so
Watson
Saban's got 6. I mean, it's not close, and there's a 3-year period where Clemson was really good, but I expect without their quarterback for them to fall back, and they did it Alabama-like by stacking their defensive line, but they're not that way right now, and I do not see 4 All-Americans in their defensive front, and that's what they had. Alabama, they may have their most dominant defense ever this coming season.
But even as good, and everything you're saying is right, Clay, about Bama's dominance, but in the ACC, no one else. I mean, Florida State had 1 year with Jimbo before he left. In the Big Ten, no one else other than Ohio State does it. In the Big 12, no one other than Oklahoma has done it in recent years. In the SEC, LSU won a title year before last. You've had Auburn win titles, and it's been a few years, but in recent memory, in the last decade or so, Georgia's been competitive but hasn't gotten to that point. So it's
not since 1980.
It's not it's not like this has been a league where no one else has been good, and in a lot of these other leagues, they've had no other entrants really consistently, in unless you want to count Notre Dame as another ACC team.
But I don't think Clemson has been to Alabama's level. They've been to LSU, Georgia level. They just
But to Ty's point, I think we are.
They've had a walkthrough
I'm getting tired
because of the
Clemson,
weakness of the ACC.
Tired of seeing Ohio State. Tired of seeing Alabama.
So what do you do about it?
I don't know. I heard y'all coming in.
This isn't the NFL where you have a draft and we can put you at the back of the line because you won the Super Bowl.
Well, I think the one thing that could create that, if you again, I heard Clay coming in. I don't know why they didn't go to 16 instead of 12. 12.
So
you're
favoring later.
You're favoring the 4 teams that are going to be there anyway. You're going to give them an extra weekend off, and they're going to let a couple more good players get beat up on other teams or out for the season, and then they only got to win 3 games instead of 4 games. But I think we've seen with the NCAA tournament in baseball and in the basketball, the more teams play, the more upsets you're going to have, and that 1-16 or a 1-8, you're going to have some upsets. And Alabama could face the wrong team at the wrong time and lose in the second round. And I think as fans, that's what you want to see. You need someone to root against. Because I'm a Tennessee fan, we're not going to be there for a while, so I might as well hate Alabama like I always do, and hold hands with my family members, and rally against the Tide.
Yeah,
round the bowl, down the whole, roll Tide, roll.
So I'm with you. I'm for more expansion. Yeah,
I would go 4, 8, 16. I wouldn't have this odd number like this. It's not divisible. Everybody should be playing the same number of games. We're on the same page there.
What's then? I've read the report and I've read the different stuff from either Pete Thamel and some of these other big time college football writers. What's the rationale from going to 12? Do you just think it's so they can
want to have these on campus games? But to me, I think it's you hold that chip back. That's the ace you keep up your sleeve, because if you lay it all out now, the only place you can go from 16 is then to what, 24? So now if you go to 12, now the outcry will begin year one. Well, we ought to expand this, from 12 to 16. You at least have a place to go. But it seems to be, at least, and I think all this, obviously it's just a trial balloon. They haven't approved anything. This is just a proposal. But these on-campus games, I think, are a big deal to them in these first round of games.
Imagine Arkansas, because that would be, Tommy, correct me, it's 5, 6, 7, and 8 would host 9, 10, 11, 12, correct?
Yeah.
So if Arkansas got a 5 through 8 seed, which is not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Now you'll have to wait and see.
10 and 11, you'd have been right in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
But what are they going to do for these players? We've seen it go from 11 to 12, 13 with championship games. Now, if you're in a championship game and a 4-game playoff, 17 games.
Could be 17 games.
How are these kids, one, going to continue going to school, which is what they're supposed to do. And then, every game somebody gets hurt. You get a starter get hurt, especially at the end of the season. You're going to lose another 4 starters on every team at least in those last 4 games. You're going to have careers ended. I mean, what are we going to do, is paying the answer? It's less regular season games, which they don't want because they're making money. But
I think that's what the Supreme Court was telling us.
They're not going to miss any college, Bruce. How are they going to miss college?
I think all this goes hand in hand with what the Supreme Court was.
There's no college from December 10th to January 19th. There's no college.
But so the national championship is typically what, January 7th? Is that right? Is that ballpark?
It's usually like the second Monday of January.
So how many weeks would that get pushed back? 3?
Well, no, they're going to play. They're not going to play.
Oh, they're going to move them up. Okay.
These first round
you're not going to have a 4-week delay.
Okay, so they'll just do it.
I can tell you who doesn't like this. It's the NFL. Yeah, the NFL's not going to like this because it's attention they're going to get for their normal. I mean, they've got a clear deck. Normally
NFL ratings blow away college ratings. There's
I understand,
not even close.
But because there's generally nothing else. There's the bowls around that. And there's not a lot of competition.
NFL's going to be upset because they're going to lose top prospects because they're going to play 4 extra games and get hurt. And that's first-round draft picks they're not going to get because they're going to have career-ending injuries.
So the NFL's ratings of any sport, professional or college, has grown and risen percentage. I got to look at that.
But mid-December, there's no college football to compete with anything. That's why they start playing Saturdays and they start playing these other days because
that's where
college football doesn't compete with them. Now college football is going to compete.
Color Rush games on Thursday nights.
Yeah. That's where I'm headed. Can college football make a dent with that? Because that stretch you're talking about, and I know the NFL ratings are massive, and this is a college football market here across the state of Arkansas. I know we got people listening all over the place to us on the Morning Rush, but we butter our bread with college football. Can college football postseason, and with all these extra teams that have been added, can that make a dent in the late NFL regular season where so many teams are making a push to make the playoff?
It won't overtake them, but yes,
not overtake.
Or are you going to string out 8 games over 2 days, like a Friday, Saturday? You're not going to play on Sunday. Yeah. They're not going to do that.
I wouldn't think so, but that to me.
Are you going to start playing at noon and play till midnight? Because they're not going to play the games
you only got
concurrently.
You got 4 games, right?
And they're going to knock out
4 games.
You're only going to have 4,
and they're going to knock out 4 bowls, is what they talked about. I don't know how that's going to make it. I mean, Clay, you've been doing this longer than any of us. When you look at the regular season, postseason, you've seen the changes. You've seen the change from the BCS to the college football playoff, and what I think is inevitable change going to 12 teams. You've seen it all. So is this more attractive to the college football, the casual college football fan, the way we're headed, or was it 10, 20 years ago, was that more attractive to just the casual college football fan out there?
Oh, no, I think the expanding the playoff is absolutely the hit with the fans. And I think that they're more meaningful games. They're elimination games. There's the drama, play and stay alive. There's unique matchups. This is much, much better than, and if they eliminate, I'm just throwing these out. So if they eliminate the Jackhammer Bowl and the Weed Eater Bowl and the, you name them.
Tommy wants the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, Birmingham Bowl
yeeted off the face of the earth.
They take the Las Vegas Bowl, and I mean it's like the Aztec City Bowl. I'm making them up, obviously, but it's like
they're all believable.
You will not miss those 4 games.
Yeah.
And if you're team number 16, you're still going to get a decent bowl, and the kids are going to get to play. I don't see that there's any downside to this, and I really don't think that I don't think the NFL cares about injuries. That's their they're used to that. And you say, okay, you're going to lose 4 number 1 draft picks. No, you're not. They're still going to have first-round draft picks.
They're just not going to be good.
But the NFL as a whole will, if it waters down the first round a little bit, what teams is it going to hurt? It's going to hurt the top end because they're the last 4 teams picking. The champions, the division champions are the last 4 that are going to get to pick. It doesn't hurt them. Yep. They're not. They're going to get the guy that's at the top of the second round, and that's going to be about the same player.
All right, real quick, we got about 15, 20 seconds each on this. What is the effect on the regular season of college football once this expanded playoff goes into effect? Bruce, we'll start with you. Is it more important, less important? What happens to the importance of the game, weight of the games?
I think it's you're playing too many games, but they're not going to shorten the schedule. But yeah, I mean it's important that you're in the top 12 so you can make the playoff.
So each week becomes more important.
It has to.
Yeah, I think so.
I think with the ability now to expand teams, I'm agreeing with Bruce because you have that unique opportunity where if you lose one game, even two, you still have a chance to play for a national championship. So it has to be that much more important.
Clay, what do you think?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen, and we've talked about this before, but it's been a little bit, I think you're going to see teams add a Power 5 opponent where you play two. Georgia's and Alabama are already doing that in their schedule down the road because they know that strength of schedule is going to be the deciding factor. It won't be for teams 1, 2, 3, 4, but it will be for that next group to separate so that they're not, they can differentiate between those teams that are being left out, that are 13, 14, 15.
All right, Bruce Stanton with us every Tuesday here on The Morning Rush. You brought us some of your hand-painted lures that you can find on lurenet.com. Tell us what we got here so Clay can envision what I might or might not bring him next time I go to the river.
Clay, I don't think he's bringing it to you, but it's
He didn't bring the last batch.
I've still got him, though. I'm seeing how you behave.
If you go to lurenet.com, we got a thing called the Paint Shop, and it's a special run of 300 only one-time lures and special custom colors. I mean, there's Super Spooks and Model A bombers and Norman deep little ends, just all kinds of lures in our brand portfolio that are only available on lurenet.com in special colors. And once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're looking for good topwater baits or crankbaits this time of year, which is what you need to be throwing, go to lurenet.com and you'll see some hot colors, and you can get them only at lurenet.com.
River level's getting back to where you can kind of fish on the Arkansas River.
Well, it was. It's back to 80,000 in Fort Smith. We had all that rain west of us, and I was planning on fishing jetties all week, and now I got to regroup because that's not going to happen.
They had 4 inches of rain in Tulsa.
Yeah, it's all coming
crazy.
downhill. So
promise me that the hand-painted lure that Tommy's bringing me is not burnt orange. Just promise me.
There is one with a burnt orange belly.
That makes my decision. I'm keeping the blue one.
Yeah.
Keep that one.
Clay, you just got the burnt orange belly.
Just got burnt orange.
Yeah. Well, hey.
It's got some tiger stripes.
I'll just say, Bruce, you will not like what I do to that on the night of July 4th. There'll be some demolition involved.
Hey.
I'll give it to him July 5th.
There you go.
I'll give it to him a little later in the month then. All right, so some good fishing, good time. This is the time we've talked about it. Ponds, creeks, getting out there early. Water starting to warm up, so kind of change game up a little bit right now.
July 4th, big weekend coming up. Get out to Ouachita, 10-killer, Broken Bow, Table Rock, Beaver. Get your topwater baits, Pop-Rs, Super Spook Juniors, and get up while the family's sleeping and get out for a few hours, throw a topwater bait, and back off and throw a Bomber Model A or a fat-free shad and fish a little deeper when the sun gets up. And then when the skiers get on the water, just go back to the cabin, cook some breakfast, and turn on some soccer and have fun.
There you go. All right, good to see you. Enjoy 4th of July weekend.
All right, y'all too.
All right, Bruce Stanton with us every Tuesday here on The Morning Rush. One place you could head this weekend is the White River, and you could be up around Bull Shoals, and you could fish in the mornings on Bull Shoals and work that lake, and then in the afternoons maybe enjoy the White River. A lot of options when you go to Gaston's White River Resort. Hey, book your stay, and that's one of the great things about Gaston's. The lake is just a few miles away, and the river's right out your back door when you stay at Gaston's, and every cabin comes with a wonderful view of the White River. You can't beat it. Go to Gastons.com, see all the options, whether your group is 2 or 22. They've got accommodations for you and your family. It's also a great place to get away for a work retreat, take some clients. If you're looking for a place to entertain a group, they've got it for you at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202, or again online at Gastons.com to see everything. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on The Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs! Discount cannot be combined with other offers or discounts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust, offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howell about Renters Insurance. Game Time Energy, lifetime experience. Learn more about Buffalo Wild Wings and why it's a great place to work. Apply today at workthe4wings.com. You'll be working with the hottest brand around and having tons of fun doing it. Welcome to the big time.
Join the winning team at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are hiring. Apply now at workthe4wings.com. Competitive pay, team member discounts, flexible schedule, insurance options, incentive contests, and much more. Work where every day is game day. Roar!
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
I chose Ashley Air just because I've always wanted to work for the best. I asked a lot of folks at my church who the best heat and air company is, and 90% of the people I talked to said Ashley was the best. So I wanted to work for the best.
Great things are happening at Ashley Air. We're looking for skilled service and installation technicians for our Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations. We're willing to pay the right person up to $5,000 in hiring bonuses. To apply online, visit our website at ashley.air.com.
ashley.air.com.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Gates and some fence repairs at my home. The Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete!
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
You think about Matt Jones back in 2002, 03, 04 as the quarterback for the Arkansas Razorbacks and kind of his marketability. We've got a guy that used to own a business, and we've got a guy that manages a business that does the show with me every single day. What would their advice be to guys like a Traylon Burks, a Jalen Catalon, a KJ Jefferson, a Grant Morgan, guys that could take advantage at some point of their marketability in college? We'll talk about that next on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They can help you with backyard fun all summer long and for summers to come. They've got cash and carry savings this month. You can get an above-ground pool, and, hey, if you want a weekend project for the holiday weekend, they've got it. Cash and carry above-ground pool starting at $19.99. Put it together and be enjoying that with your family for this weekend. They have a limited supply available of above-ground pools by Doughboy. They're built to last for years to come, so you and your family can enjoy that for many years at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You'll find them on 0 Street in Fort Smith, just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
So we got a text from Randy and Van Buren earlier, and you're welcome to text in as well or get us on our video live stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And he said, unless the player performs on the field, the name and likeness and image won't be worth much. And that's my point. When you think about your job, whatever line of work you're in, some listening, it doesn't really matter what you do. There's people that make less than you, and there's people that make more than you. Most of the time, I'd say 90+% of the time, it's based on performance and based on their value to the company. And I know there's occasionally a little bit of a spat between coworkers. That happens. Like me and Tommy aren't synchronized all the time. Me and Clay aren't synchronized all the time. There's occasionally a rift. That's okay. It's part of the work environment. And I think you'll see that as this continues to expand and we see players make money off their name, image, and likeness. There will be egos that boost, egos that grow. But it's a matter of maintaining that. So, Clay, I'll let you start as a guy that owned Hogs Illustrated for quite some time now, operates it, and still just does a lot of the day, if not all the day-to-day stuff. What is your advice for some of the players and other players that would try to market themselves to your company and other companies in Northwest Arkansas and across the state?
Yeah, I think you want to pick your advisors carefully. There's that's already going on. Make sure that there's not somebody that's going to take advantage of you. I would think that you're going to listen to, they've created a department at the U of A that will guide them on how to best utilize what's going to happen. And I know y'all talked earlier about Trey Knox, and it's like he shouldn't be worried about this. Well, I think this is actually motivation for those players. And I've always seen that a player that has just a so-so career, that when they have a chance to get ready for pro day, they hit a different gear because money's on the line. That they're trying to, they're motivated for the first time because it's like there's a carrot there. It's now I think this is good for the motivation of a lot of players that they've got their scholarships and they've been sitting back on their heels. Now there's a chance if they perform at a higher level than, say, they were the last year, they can take advantage of things well before they become professionals. They are, in fact, in the marketplace. So I think that this is good. And if Trey Knox sees this as motivation, I think it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, and that part I think is point. It's based off performance, right, Clay
Correct.
and Tommy?
But if you now realize that your performance is gonna bring in some money before your pro days, and even if it's just a little trickle, it's worth some motivation and some and I'm sure that the guys in the strength and conditioning department are telling these players, hey, your time is now. It's not 3 years from now when you're getting ready to go to the combine, if you can go to the combine. But there is a marketplace for you now.
20 years ago, you're in early stages of your management career. What would you tell yourself then that you've learned now that could be beneficial to these student athletes that are thinking about this process and about to go through this process?
Slow down. Be slower to react. Think it through. I think if I was talking with these guys, or if one of them asks for advice, be selective. They're going to have a lot of people, and some will be good and some will be bad, that want to get in their DMs and want to make an offer, and not every offer is going to be a good offer. Not every piece of business is good business, and you see something here, whether it's $500 or $5,000, and you think every deal's a good deal. Well, not every deal is a good deal. So understand, be selective, and
don't want to be promoted by Cheyennes.
Well, be willing, be willing to ask questions. Be willing, be willing to say no. I think when you're young and you're trying to conquer the world, sometimes the word no is hard for you because you want to do every deal. I think you got to be selective and kind of figure out what really fits what you're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, I think this slow down part, Clay, you brought up something earlier, the advice you get. Now, I trust my dad with my life. I ask him not just work questions, personal questions, whatever. I know you had the same relationship with your father when he was here with us. I can't overlook what you just said earlier, because that you can't go past that. If you get bad advice, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, what I would tell them, and it was something that a guy in Tulsa, Ed Bashira, who was a good friend of mine, and he was the guy that made the clothes for Nolan, got him in the polka dots, all that kind of stuff, made his silk suits. I think I was about 25 or 26, went to lunch with him for the first time. I was about to get a tuxedo to go cover the Heisman in New York City. And he told me, and he pointed his finger, basically shook it at me, and he says, you've got one thing that I know of right now. You got your name. Keep it clean. Work hard. Put one day after the next. Just keep your head down and work, and good things will happen. Just remember, every single step that you take, somebody's watching you. Carry yourself and take care of your business. And that was great advice, and it's exactly what I did when I started Hogs Illustrated. I didn't worry about what was not happening as far as financially. I just worked. And all at once I looked around, and it turned out all right.
Now he's a millionaire, Clay. Or Tommy. Now he's living a lavish lifestyle. No, that's a great piece of advice, Clay, not just for the student athletes, but everyone listening. Good things come to those.
Protect your name.
Yeah, and that's a part of it. And every once in a while, we'll get stained a little bit. I think I can attest to that.
Yep.
Pretty much. But that's not to say that you can't overcome getting arrested your first week of college. I mean, it's part of learning life lessons.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
but that's a setback.
Yeah,
that's a setback in these college kids, and it's important that they understand that if that happens, they're going to be in the newspaper. You weren't.
Yeah.
But they will be, and it will be a setback that really puts them in a bind as far as their name,
especially sponsorship
and if
ability.
You think about what happened to Matt Jones during his early in his NFL career. That was a huge setback for him. So those are things that you just can't have happen if you're trying to make money off of your name. Your name has to be good, and how you dress, how you carry yourself, all these things are important.
All right, coming up at 8 o'clock, got a little battle royale, the spirit of competition. It's headed your way. The Olympics are coming. We also got an Olympics of our own next on the Morning Rush.
The Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
7621. Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts, so whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Whew!
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry, we've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Chance of showers and some scattered thunderstorms, especially across the north today. Our high this afternoon will be right around the upper 80s to lower 90s. A slim chance of showers or storms tonight, overnight lows near 70. And then the best chance of showers and storms will be across the north again on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by The Fenceman. For custom-built fences, gates, and controlled access systems, call The Fenceman at 479-782-3936. The Fenceman, he ain't afraid of no work.
Little put his tee down at the Arkansas 43-yard line and then backed up his claim.
It's a good snap, and Bruce Hay got a great hold on it, and the rest was up to me, and I kicked it, and I got a good kick on it, and the rest were just stood there and watched it go through the upright.
The 67-yard field goal was true and tied the NCAA record, a record that still stands today.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 67 days.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hey, it's hour number 3 of The Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. I made sure to tell you this morning to tune into this hour, this specific segment. We'll get into it coming up here on The Morning Rush.
Hey, tomorrow, Brett Good, former Razorback, Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, will be with us in hour number 2. We'll talk about the expanded college football playoff, get some thoughts on the College World Series and other takes on sports. He's now part of the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. So if you need help with employee benefits packages, health insurance, staffing management solutions, commercial, or your personal insurance, homeowners, auto insurance, he can help you, life insurance, he can help you with all of those things. Just give Brett a call, 479-651-2292. That's his direct number, 651-2292. Call or text Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
So do a little roll call this morning. Tommy, you're here.
Present.
Clay, you're here.
You got it.
Drew, you're here.
Present. Yeah.
Okay, we also got 2 other people with us. Phil, you with us?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Ruskin, are you with us?
What are you doing, getting everybody out of bed this morning?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. We're going to do this. So in the spirit of competition this morning, and not just this morning, but throughout the show, the Olympics, okay? The Olympics hadn't started yet. It's coming up.
No, we've got the trials, but we're headed that direction.
We're heading that way. So Summer Olympics, Tokyo, Japan. We're in Arkansas, across ESPN Arkansas. Here's the idea I concocted last night. Through next Friday, and it doesn't matter what show you're listening to, if you're listening online, if you're listening just on our ESPN Arkansas airwaves, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're going to have a competition again through next Friday, through the conclusion of Ruskin and Zach. all you have to do as a Morning Rush, Halftime, or Ruskin and Zach listener. Now, all of our shows are great. They're fantastic. They have their each niche. They have their each feel. But your favorite, and I don't care if you texted on the Morning Rush that Halftime's your favorite, Ruskin and Zach's your favorite. It really doesn't matter to me. But I do want to see the tallies at the end of this. So through the end of, again, next Friday, we're going to tally up your favorite show on the Morning Rush. And at the end of this, again, through the conclusion of Ruskin and Zach from 3 to 6 next week, the 2 losers are going to buy either as follows. We're either going to do round of drinks, like continuous, or a steak dinner. Now, I'll let you guys...
So there's no losers, really.
Yeah. Ruskin, I'll let... Do you think the losers should have to pay for a steak dinner, or should they have to pay for unlimited drinks for the winners? I'll let you start this one.
Well, I'd like a steak dinner.
Okay. Phil, steak dinner or round of drinks? Or not round of drinks, unlimited drinks.
In the Olympics, if you're first, second, or third, there's no losers there, man. That's gold, silver, and bronze. You've got to bring up some different terminology here.
Okay.
And if you're eating and you're drinking, you're winning anyway. I would go with the drinks.
Okay. So who's gonna? Do you want to?
I'm team drinks because I can order top shelf and run up a much higher bill.
Halftime team drinks. Ruskin and Zach, and I'm assuming you speak for Arns in this. Ruskin, is that okay? You speak for Arns in this? Okay.
I believe so, yeah. Okay. Although he may be on board with the drink. I don't know. I haven't consulted with him.
Okay. So, Tommy Clay, I'll stay away from this. I'll let you guys can be the deciding factor.
I'm not in the running. This doesn't – I'm not involved because I'm not the host, and I'm on 2 of the 3 shows.
That's a good point. So, Tommy –
So I'm out.
You
can win, I can't lose. I'm out.
You can be the deciding factor,
Phil wins.
Tommy.
Phil wins.
Yes. You can be the
Phil has won.
You can be
he's the only legitimate he's the only legitimate journalist of the 3 of you guys. Phil,
I'm no journalist.
Zach.
That's funny. No, but hey, you can be the Bob Costas of this. We'll tell you, I know we're ESPN Arkansas, but let's be NBC for this. You can be Bob Costas, and you can come, as people like to use this term for some reason, commentate about the 3 shows.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? You're the ultimate factor, Tommy. Is it going to be drinks or is it going to be steak dinner?
Let's go drinks.
Okay, so that's all right. We've locked it in.
That way I don't. That way I can block you out of my memory. Because I knew nothing about this segment until I sat back in this chair at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, and I'm wondering why Ruskin and Phil are on the board here. So
that was I didn't want to tell anyone about this. I was just like, we're just going to.
So Derek. Phil, I apologize now. So
that was the moment, Tommy, that I heard you. This is exactly what Tommy did. I heard him do this at 8 o'clock when he sat in his chair.
Yeah.
So
I'm just impressed someone down there knows the broadcast day goes past 1 p.m. That's what I'm.
Here's how this is going to work. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be very easy. All you have to do is text in. You can text in anytime. It doesn't have to be during a show. It can be after a show because we can see these texts. And this is an easy way for us to keep track because it's the only way that you can vote on this. You just vote on this. It's going to be in our text line.
Votes.
I've shared a document with every single one of you. So
if it comes in during our show, it's our responsibility to tally the vote.
Even if it's a Ruskin and Zach vote,
let's just put the NCAA in charge.
Yeah. I'm as corrupt as the IOC.
We're like the intern at USA Baseball that's making sure that everybody only gets 25 fan votes per day for Kevin Kopps right now, right?
Yeah, well, I think Arkansas fans are doing that. But all you have to do is text in 877-377-6963. Now, we're not going to do this 1 vote a day or 25 votes a day. You get 1 vote. That's it. You just 1 vote. You send in Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, and you say your name. We have your names because we've just got them because you've texted them in before. It's that easy. It's that simple. Text them in 877-377-6963.
What's the angle? I hadn't figured out the angle this benefits you yet. That's the angle. My wheels are turning here. This is all washing over me for the first time, and I'm trying to figure out the self-gratifying, self-gratuity angle that you are playing here, and I haven't pinned it down yet.
He's doing one of 2 things. He's either pitting the shows against each other more than they already are, or he's trying to find a way to play referee and bring them all together. Instead of being the divider, I think he wants to be the uniter.
No, I think he's going for a free drunk.
I
think Clay just nailed it.
Yeah, I gave the opportunity to steak, but Tommy, as much as he likes to drink, and I know he can't get away from the bottle. That's the one he
you
chose.
would have been, if it was free steaks, you would be drinking with the steaks.
I also refuse to watch you eat a well-done steak with ketchup.
Yeah.
So
Well,
drinking is it.
Well, I guess
that is true. That's a crime.
I did have a well-done steak this weekend because the guy I was with had to deal with a problem, so he let the steaks go out too long, and he didn't trust us any other deal. So I did have a well-done steak. There's no ketchup, though.
I don't think you've thought this through because I believe that Derek and Zach, their listeners are more tester. They text more. They don't call. And also people in the morning are busy. They're headed to work. They can't text and drive. You're going to get hosed on this.
It's shocking. It is shocking that Ty hadn't
Thank you,
thought.
Clay.
It's shocking that
Isn't
Ty
that
hadn't
right?
thought something through. I mean, that's
Ruskin, don't y'all get a ton more text than any of the other shows?
There are always going to be there are always going to be competitive advantages and disadvantages. Just ask Vanderbilt in college baseball. This just works this way.
And I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I've been here 2 weeks.
Yeah.
People barely know who I am at this point.
Well, it's not an individual. It's a team award.
It's a show.
It's a show. So you do.
So it might as well be the Phil Elson show with Drew Barrett at this
the
point.
Phil, Matty T, and Drew, Ruskin, and Zach, and then Ty and Tommy. So again, we're gonna have some fun. This isn't gonna go over the top. No one's gonna name call here. We're just gonna have, and again, the spirit of competition.
You speak for yourself.
Some fun.
And then we're going to drink.
Name
This
calling
is
is
gonna work really
allowed.
well.
Can we not? Can we not have some fun? I thought we were. You always talk about teamwork around here.
Absolutely.
Tommy. Okay, then this is gonna be team.
All great political campaigns. All great political campaigns start out with everyone saying they're going to be nice, and they end up throwing mud on each other at the end.
Did y'all not see the governor race in Utah where both candidates, both Republican and Democrat, did a joint commercial and talked about how they were going to focus on the issues and not the antagonizing, not the attacks?
That's Utah. That people are way nicer in Utah.
Than
Don't
Arkansas?
use that as an example.
Okay. So just to redirect and just to come back again.
What do we do with these votes for John Neighbors' show? What do we do with these that are coming in? We're getting votes for Neighbors' show. What do we do with those?
I guess we let
Is
him
that
know
the write-in
about that.
candidate?
I guess we let him know. That's
I've only
the
gotten
write-in
one.
candidate.
I've only gotten one.
Is that like when you wrote in Kanye West for the presidential candidate when you didn't want? Who was the third party? It was Gary Johnson, wasn't it this year? Who was it this year?
It was the woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember who the
Thank you for narrowing it down there, Drew.
She was the representative from the Libertarian Party. I can't remember her name.
That sure does narrow it down. So let's see. What text have we gotten so far? We've got halftime. We mentioned Neighbors, and I guess we can have write-in shows. So if you want to write in, Clay should have his own show and just make it that.
I can't wait to see the high-tech yellow pad scoreboard that you're using.
I've already shared the Olympic tallies to each and every one of you, so you can keep track of this. It's nice
and fraught with scandal. I can already see it.
Well, let's just be truthful.
In true Olympic fashion, it's going to be rigged.
Yeah, the Russian judges are going to be are going to run amok here. So.
Oh man! All right, this should be fun. Ruskin, Phil, thanks for popping on, and best of luck to both of you. And by best of luck, I hope you go Blues. I can't say what I actually want to say because we're on FCC restricted airwaves, but we'll do this through next Friday, and then the losers will have to buy the winners a free round and continuous round of drinks.
All right, well, I'm going to go have a Gatorade and stretch a little bit. I'll see you guys out there on the track.
And Tommy, I need you to find 8,432 votes. That's all I need. All right.
I'm just looking at the Chads. I'm just hanging Chads. I got them. So see you guys. Nothing like 6 people talking on the radio at once. That worked out better than you planned.
I think that worked out okay. And so we'll have a little fun, friendly, of course, competition here at ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. It doesn't matter. All you got to do, text in any time of the day through next Friday, 877-377-6963.
This feels like that scene in Caddyshack, I think, Clay, at the end. I think Rodney Dangerfield is going to be telling me, Judge Smells, hey, go help the judge find his wallet. And I'm going to have Rocco and Guido going to help me find my wallet. That's how it feels like this is going to be going down in about a week.
Yeah, I'm afraid Ty's going to show up with a bunch of mail-in ballots.
Yeah, well.
I think we'll have a good time these next couple of days. And we just needed something to tie into the Olympics coming up, and I thought this would be a good way because I know Ruskin and Zach, because Tommy, Ruskin and Zach are under the impression that they would beat us in a 2-on-2 basketball game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you say I would just pass the ball to you. You tell me about your shooting prowess. So I would just get the ball. I would dribble, penetrate, and then just dish it to you and let you knock down the threes.
If you want
that
us
would
to
be
win,
my game plan.
If you want us to win that way,
I don't. I just want to win.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need to be the leader in the stat line. I just want to win.
You need me to be the big dog?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You know,
I'll be the big dog if I have to.
I saw Ty play basketball at the
Here it comes.
Game Day Lodge, and 7 and 8 year olds were working him over.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but thank you for reminding us, Clay.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing we're on just.
You were being nice, right, Ty?
I guess
you let him win.
If you say that. Tell you who wasn't nice this season as we dive into our headlines this morning. Kevin Kopps. He gets another All-American mention, D1 baseball, and first team there. Also the D1 National Player of the Year. Clay, the accolades, the awards, they just keep coming. The Dick Hauser, the Stopper of the Year, the National Collegiate Baseball. I think that one's right. So he's got, 4 national awards now, guys? Is that right? Is that what his tally's at?
Yeah, and I think he's the heavy favorite for the Golden Spikes. And you can go to usabaseball.com and vote up until July 2nd for that. There's 200 national members of their committee that vote, but the fan vote is 5%. So if you want to vote for Kevin Kopps, do it now. Go to usabaseball.com.
What did Phil say? You could vote 25 times a day, but that was the limit, not 26?
Yep. Yep.
And they got some intern. How'd you like to have that job, you know?
The other finalists are the 2 Vanderbilt pitchers, Rocker and Leiter. So you can vote for him, and I think that's really good because it's going to split up the Vanderbilt vote.
It's a good point.
Yeah, that I think would help Arkansas. Now, to your point, Tommy, what reasoning, what rationale could you come to that 25 is the number you need to land on?
The fan vote is weighted at only 5% of the total vote. So there's 200 individuals that are in the national media, former award winners, and others that have ballots. The fan vote is not the overriding majority of how this award's decided. It's only 5% of the weight. So fans do have interaction, but still those 200 ballots decide 95% of the outcome. So
Traylon Burks, second team Pro Football Focus All-American. Jalen Catalon, honorable mention. Now, Clay, we had Phil Steele on yesterday, and he was just loving him. Some Traylon Burks, some Grant Morgan, and Jalen Catalon. Of those 3 individuals, which one do you anticipate is going to be a postseason All-American who actually is going to end up following the season on one of the lists?
Well, they all 3 have a chance, and it'll be the one that stays the healthiest. And I know that's a cop-out, but they all 3 will I think they'll have great numbers. The only thing that'll slow down any of them is some kind of injury. I think that Grant will have similar numbers as last year if if his knee holds up. He had that knee injury late in the year. 111 tackles before that. I believe that the offense is going to be geared to go to Burks. Catalon is he's going to make plays. He'll have interceptions. I mean, I think that you've got – so Catalon and Burks, to me, are both going to be first-round picks. You're at the end of the time. You've got one season left to see these guys because they'll both be going to the NFL after the season. So, I mean, any of the 3 could be there if they stay healthy.
I think there's a good chance that all 3 of them could be up there.
Some type of, postseason, yeah.
Now, Clay, a guy that was an All-American, not at Arkansas, but Alabama. Tommy, you weren't here when I brought this up. You remember Drake Kirkpatrick for the Crimson Tide, 2009, 5-star kid. Well, he's got a son that's being recruited by Alabama. He's a 2024 athlete prospect. Make it stop. You think like Nick Saban, you know what, you had an All-American here, you had an All-American here, but now there's a legacy.
Yeah.
And not just a legacy at Alabama, a legacy that Nick Saban coached at Alabama.
If you're any other coach, do you even waste your time trying
to
how much resources do you really put into to trying to recruit a legacy kid like that. I think that's a great way of describing it. So, yeah, no chance he goes to Georgia. No chance he goes to Auburn. No chance he goes to LSU. No chance he goes anywhere other than Alabama, if he's any good, you know. And I'm assuming he is, or you wouldn't bring him up.
Clay, I've always wondered, because I'm legacy at the U of A, but my dad went to Baylor. Like, your father being here, was there ever a point, like you growing up here and stuff, that you didn't feel like you were going to do journalism in Arkansas? Or was this always going to be home for you thought?
Yeah, so there was interesting dynamics, because there was only one paper that I wanted to work for in Arkansas, which was Arkansas Gazette at that time, and they had a nepotism rule that you could. I grew up there working part-time, but I could not work in my dad's sports department. So, you know, the advice that he gave me was to leave the state, which was the best thing I could have done. I went to a place that no one knew me. No one knew my dad. So 14 years there to you know, they would call it build your own brand, but it was basically earn your own reputation. So the fact, I didn't think I really knew how to do anything else, Ty, so I didn't really have a choice. I had worked
you can fish.
in a newspaper.
You can golf.
Well, I did play golf in college, but it was that I wasn't going to be a golf pro because I saw the hours that my Uncle Bill worked down at Riverdale. I mean, it was, 18-hour days and, 6 hours sleep and do it again the next day, and you did that for 9 months. So, I mean, it was – I was about to get married and I knew I needed a stable job, and newspaper business was the only place that really offered that at that time to me, where I knew that I could do the job.
All right, last headline for you this morning. I know both of you will appreciate this. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, this lady named Missy has stage 4 breast cancer, and to cheer her up, this is one of her favorite actors and wrestlers growing up. He sang her a little Garth Brooks.
This old highway's getting longer. Seems there ain't no end. I'm so sorry. I sing in keys that don't exist. I'm going to let Garth sing. He will be honored to know that you are a fan of his. Thank you. Stay strong and keep inspiring all those around you, including us.
So
we
Garth,
love you, Missy. Stay strong.
Garth and Dwayne are friends. How do you do there, guys?
Oh,
on the singing.
That was like, what was it, Carl Lewis that tried to do the national anthem, and
his voice cracked or whatever.
Voice cracked, and he was about that pitchy. I would put it in that same category.
Okay. Clay, in the same boat
I
too?
thought it was wonderful, and it didn't have anything to do with his voice, but I thought I looked at it for, he did something for somebody that would appreciate that it was The Rock.
Yep, and he did it for all the right reasons, knowing he couldn't sing.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he couldn't sing when he agreed to take that on. So awesome deal when your family's going through something rough like that. All right, got to hit the break. We're brought to you by Kevin Hickey Law Partners. If you're going through building a home right now, there is no more stressful time than building a home, remodeling a home, whatever you're going through. Contractors don't show up. If you're the contractor, maybe the client's not paying you. All of these things can result in lawsuits or headed to court. You need a great lawyer that understands both sides of it, and that's Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull. They have represented both contractors and homeowners in these type of disputes. They have an office in Fort Smith and also one in Bentonville and Rogers in Northwest Arkansas. 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, 802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas, or artriallawyers.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the morning.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
Well, opportunity employer. Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you remember the joy you felt as a kid about pizza night? Remember how good it smelled? You could taste it even before you opened the box. And then that first bite. It was so good. Be the supper time savior. Order Jim's Razorback Pizza now. 434-3456. The best pizza in Fort Smith, or it's free.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Davis, first down, a bunch more. There's one of those types of scores as he'll take it the distance. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
If we lose tonight, this will be the last call you hear on this program. I'll probably be dead. Now, if I live through it, I'll call back.
Back here in the Morning Rush, got some SEC news to get to on your SEC report coming up, and more college football talk as well. We're going to save the Moses Moody conversation for tomorrow, as we've got still some stuff to get to here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, we're brought to you by Arts Barbecue and Burgers. The all-new combo platters are on the menu, where you can pair up your favorite items, your favorite entrees from Arts, and try them, whether you love the brisket or you love the pulled pork. Maybe the catfish is one of your favorite things. I had some baby back ribs there over the weekend that were just perfect. You know, when you get that center cut part of the baby backs, and then they're just the right level of tenderness, and they're just perfectly done, where they're tender but they're not falling off the bone. They pull perfectly. That was the ribs this weekend at Arts. Perfect. Then you get the sides. Their baked beans are unbelievable. Potato salad's great. Their hand-cut fries, their homemade onion rings. They got a lot of great options. You can add a hot link, sausage, tamales to any of those combo platters as well. And don't forget, Fridays is all-you-can-eat catfish Fridays at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Rogers Avenue, 2 doors up from Lowe's, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
So our SEC report's going to start with Vanderbilt beating Mississippi State in Game 1 of the College World Series last night, 8-2. Now, Mississippi State, Tommy, you brought up earlier, home run the first. You're thinking, oh, they're feeling good. Then Vandy just gets a hidden, and Mississippi State went through, two pitchers before they finally found their guy and settled in a little bit?
Yeah, Clay, Mississippi State starter he was hit, walk guys. He hit 2 batters in the first. They couldn't get anyone warmed up fast enough in the bullpen, and State knew they were in trouble early on. Their starter did not have it last night.
Yeah, I think Bubba Carpenter would say he lacked control.
Yeah.
Command. I'm sorry, command.
Yes.
That's what they call it. The baseball experts, they call that command.
So how are we feeling heading into tonight's game, guys?
Well,
is Vandy, are we ready to declare them the winner?
No, I don't think so.
There was a team in 2018 that won Game 1, and then the other team came back and won Game 2 and 3. And I know that hits close to home, but that this has happened before. So
yeah,
I wouldn't rule State out. So.
I think if you kind of check out the way things go in the SEC this year, there's been a lot of strange things happen, and I think Mississippi State has got some firepower over there in their dugout. So it's all about starting pitching. If you get it, then all at once, I know Dave Van Horn has told me forever, the starting pitcher changes momentum in the first inning.
Yep. So
you either have it or you don't.
All right, that's your SEC report. More College World Series tonight, and we'll maybe have a national champion by this time tomorrow. Could be Vanderbilt, or we could be headed to what I hope is a Game 3, because, if you got to decide in Game 3 in this, that's just better for us as sports fans. So I think everybody's in on State. I'd like to just see State win it, just because they've never won a team national championship. So I think it'd be good to see them get that off their chest.
I want to ask a question when we get done with that.
All right, SEC report brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. All the best brands at the best prices. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone Alliance, and they give you a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So with Mississippi State being in your division, you say you'd like to, because I would like to personally, I'd like to see them win too. But if you're Dave Van Horn, if you're that baseball team, those recruiters, that staff, would you rather see Vanderbilt win and go back to back, or would you rather see you'd want to win. Obviously, you don't want either to happen, because that's a disadvantage of recruiting. But Clay, is there a disadvantage to Arkansas in who wins tonight's game and potentially Game 3?
I don't think so. I think that from what I can tell, Arkansas's recruiting is really locked up for the next 3 years. They're getting 10th grade commitments, and everybody they offer is committing. And I think that they, with the season that they had, the regular season, the SEC championship, SEC tournament, I think they're in good stead either way.
I think there's something to be said, but
whether Vanderbilt wins or Mississippi State wins, you're recruiting the top players in the country against either one of those programs. So, it's
against both.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So
I just didn't know if that was another notch on the belt that was a huge advantage for either Mississippi State or Vanderbilt. I don't know how it wouldn't be for Vandy. They could say, we've won the past 2 national championships. Do you want to win? I mean, that's to me, and there's not a lot that Arkansas baseball, Tommy, has to overcome, but the fact that they've been in championships, we know that, but the fact that they haven't won yet, I mean, that's something that they at some point in time want to get, so they can have that. But like you said, Arkansas at this point selects. They don't necessarily. It's true, but if a kid from,
so does Vandy, I think.
As
long as they can qualify. So.
Yeah, I'm told that Arkansas has gotten every player they've offered the last 2 years. It's almost been 100%. One of my best friends in college baseball is like, he said, it's incredible what Arkansas is doing in recruiting, and it's unprecedented for this program in any sport. What Dave Van Horn is doing. Maybe John McDonald was close. I think John was probably more, in the development department than he was in the recruiting department, although you could argue he recruited well too.
Yeah, and now that they got the new JB and John L. Hunt facility out there in right field, it's going to, if it can get better, it's going to get nothing but better. They got every edge you can imagine.
Hey,
from a recruiting standpoint, other than a national title.
At the end of July, we all love concerts. We all love concerts at Arkansas. And if you haven't been to the Peacemaker Festival, you're missing out. It's July 30th and 31st. Again, a 2-day concert festival. It's rain or shine event, and it's awesome. If you haven't been, whether you're in the River Valley, all across Arkansas, it is an spectacular event. And you can check it out at peacemakerfest.com. You can check out their different Facebook, Instagram, social media accounts where you can see the different concerts, see the different people come in, like Cody Johnson, Giovanni and the Hired Guns, Tanner Ursley, Colby Copper, and so much more. Again, check it out, peacemakerfest.com. It's a nonprofit organization. They've raised a lot of money, not just in the River Valley, but all over Arkansas. Peacemakerfest.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Finding the places in life that give you joy is what Toyota is all about. Is your idea of fun filled with adventures? Like mountain biking with your good buddies? Toyota has SUVs like RAV4 and Highlander, ready to take you wherever that next adventure lies. Or maybe one of our sporty, stylish sedans, like a Camry or Corolla, to get you anywhere in style.
And we're here.
I love the theater.
Try to not fall asleep this time.
What? Me? Or maybe your happy place is in the great outdoors, and Toyota trucks can take you camping, fishing,
got one,
or whatever you love doing. Dependable Tundra and Tacoma are built to get you to the middle of nowhere and back.
Throw another log on there.
That's providing you want to come back. So no matter where you find your joy, Toyota has vehicles ready to take you there. Get $750 customer cash. Or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Camry LE for only $249 a month for 36 months, with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 7/6/21.
These days we Google everything, but the practical advice about painting comes from the paint store in Van Buren. For 33 years we have worked with professionals as well as homeowners to share the best tips and techniques. Richards Paint, made in USA. Wooster Rollers, made in USA. Corona Brushes, made in USA. We want nothing more than to share our knowledge to help you achieve the best paint job. Friendly, expert, professional. The paint store in Van Buren.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your team.
Whoo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Third goal. Frank's going to dump it at the goal line. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Touchdown, Traylon Smith.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
We'll tell you what's going in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast coming up. We've had some stimulating conversation this morning surrounding college football, what you change, kind of the advice you'd give student athletes, and a little battle royale that we did at 8 that we'll come back to in this last segment on a Toyota Tuesday.
We're brought to you by our friends at United Welding Institute in Pottsville. You know, we've told you about the opportunity to make $2,000 a week by being a career welder, and it's a great career and learn the trade of welding. But you know, maybe welding's something you've never done, you've never seen done, no one in your family's done it before, but hey, you're interested in a new field, maybe what you've been doing, you're ready to learn a new trade, try something new. Hey, call United Welding Institute for a free trial. They'll put the gear on you. They'll put the protective goggles and the hood and all the protective clothing on you and show you how to do it. See if it's something you like or have an aptitude for. Maybe it's something you want to explore and become a certified welder. You know, it's a great way to make a living. People from all over the country come to Pottsville, Arkansas to get certified and find great paying jobs all over the country, making $2,000 a week or more. So if you're interested but unsure if welding is something you want to do, United Welding Institute right now is offering a free trial for you to experience it. 479-968-3390. That's 479-968-3390. If it's something you fall in love with, they can help you obtain a GI Bill, scholarships, student loans, and other funding to help pay for your tuition. That's 479-968-3390. Read and learn more online at UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
So did we come to a conclusion, one rule that we would add within college football that would make somewhat more parity? We've done 3 hours this morning. Did anything stand out, gentlemen?
I don't think you can do anything that's going to assure or guarantee more parity without drastic change, such as
force Nick Saban into retirement.
Well, limit scholarships for teams that, all right, you've been to the college football playoff 3 years in a row. Now you have fewer scholarships. Well, that people aren't going to go for that. I mean, if you want to create parity, you're going to have to force it by limiting those at the top. That's what the NFL's goal, and it never achieves this, through the salary cap and through the draft process, is to have 32 8-8 teams. That's what they would, in a perfect world, desire. Mm-hmm. They do that by taking the best teams and putting them at the back of the draft. The worst teams go to the front of the line in the draft.
Tougher matchups.
Unless you're going to have a draft, Clay, for recruits, and that's never going to happen in college sports. I don't know any other way other than to change the recruiting process somehow, and I don't think people are on board for that at all.
So I think the worry is that it's not only are we going to have no way for parity, that it's going to get worse with the NIL stuff where the rich gets richer. And if some schools, if there's more interest in football at Alabama and the boosters line up to dump more money into the name, image, and likeness pool, it's just that's what you worry about. And the schools with more money, say University of Texas or Ohio State or or Clemson, where boosters decide that we're gonna. The thing that was always scary about college football were slush funds. They basically, that's what they did at SMU to try to even the playing field, right? They bought players. So it's, this is legalized cheating is what we're about to have.
Yeah, and that's the...
I guess legalized cheating would be an oxymoron, but...
The question is how public this is going to be, and and will we see through name, image, likeness, essentially players being put up in a bid process? And that's the fear, I think,
Correct.
of a lot of that's the fear for schools the size of Arkansas that are trying to get from, you've got these tiers that someone laid out. Arkansas is on the bottom tier of the Power 5 programs at Tier 6. Arkansas is not trying right now to get to Tier 1. That's the ultimate goal. You just want to get out of 6, and how do we get to 4? Mm-hmm. How over the next 3 years can we get from the bottom of the pack to middle of the pack in the SEC West? Well, if every 4 and 5 star is going to basically be in a bidding process, how do you ever win that? And don't come in with the answer, well, you got all the Walmart money. Well, that's not going to be the answer. You're going to be disappointed if you think that's the path out of this wilderness. You're going to keep wandering.
I thought
because
Walmart
that's
was
not
the answer
going
to
to be.
everything.
Clay, do you agree, or that's not going to be the answer? That they're not going to just pony up and all these Walmart people are just going to start funding all this NIL stuff. That I can't even imagine happening.
Yeah, I think that there are some corporations in Arkansas that are willing to help in that regard. Because I look in Stevens, every top golfer that comes out of the University of Arkansas that makes it on the tour, they've got Stevens on their bag. They're sponsored by Stevens. So I think that you will see some of that, spill into, to this program.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're, when you say, well, Walmart, I think Tyson will. I think there's some corporations that are going to be willing to do that.
The narrative is there's going to be like a blank check. And
I think they will participate in some degree.
I agree, but not a blank check.
Tommy, let me ask you this from a business standpoint. Do businesses flourish or decline when Arkansas football is good?
Well, the economy in our state always increases when Arkansas football. There's no question. And that's not anything new. That's been going on since Clay's dad began writing. Clay's dad would have told you that in the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, I will say that after a great Arkansas victory, A lot of red vehicles were sold across Arkansas on Monday morning.
So my point would be, from just an easy, common sense, business savvy perspective, your investment is an ROI. It's return on investment. Your investment in the football program, like so many boosters do. Clay, your investment in Hogs Illustrated, and your investment in this company here at ESPN Arkansas, mine as well. It's all about what we get back on our investment. And so my point would be, my pitch, if you're Hunter Yurchek, or if you're someone high within the athletics department or within the Razorback Foundation, I know this isn't the best way to pitch it, but hey, listen, if you help contribute to this, then your business is going to go up. It's going to be helped. You're going to get more income. There's going to be a variety. And I know that not every single business is helped by Arkansas football, but a lot of them are. So that would be my pitch to companies, to CEOs, to CFOs, and everyone across the great state of Arkansas is, if you help contribute to this football program and this athletics department, your business is going to get better.
I agree with all of that. But the fan take, or the common opinion, or the call we get is, well, there's all this Fortune 500, Fortune 100 money. There'll just be open coffers, open vaults, blank checks, and the University of Arkansas should have this huge edge. And I just don't think that all of a sudden Arkansas goes from Tier 6 on this tiering system we've been debating all morning to now becoming the next Alabama because of all this influx of cash that these corporations are willing to help lure these players to Arkansas with. I don't think that's the way it's going to play out.
Yeah, so I think what you would see is Hunter Yurchek's going to have to make a tough choice. So Corporation X has got this amount of money that they are able to contribute to the University of Arkansas, and they're already doing that. They'll tell the University of Arkansas, how much of that do you want us to put into the name, the NIL program? Because you see the sponsorships already in the stadium. These companies aren't going to take away from what they're giving to the Children's Hospital or any other charity that you want to name that these great companies also support. You're not going to take away from that. So they've got X amount of dollars that they earmark every year for Arkansas companies like University of Arkansas or the charities. And there's a lot of charities that are tugging on them, just as the University of Arkansas is. So these companies are not going to change and take away from those.
I just think this issue, and it's like most rule changes or issues like these that come down the pipe, and this one's larger than most. We think it's going to have this massive effect that it never does. And at any given time, there's probably not 25 athletes on campus that most businesses would sign up for some kind of short-term endorsement or marketing plan.
That might be
a stretch. There's only so many Kevin Kopps or Moses Moody's or Isaiah Joe a couple of years ago and Jalen Catalon. I mean, we start running out of names pretty quick, and I haven't even gone through 10 yet.
Yeah, and you have to be not only a talented individual on the field, but an upstanding citizen off the field. So, and those guys you just mentioned are exactly that, but you can't have
there's only so many marketable names from a sports performance standpoint that businesses are going to be that have the desire to partner with.
Okay, let me ask you, Clay.
This isn't going to have the huge effect we all think it's going to have. In
terms of,
it's not going to be like every this idea that every player is going to see this huge influx of opportunity for cash. It's still going to be a limited few players in my opinion.
Let me ask you this: would you say you fit the demographic of most of our listeners? You, Tommy Kraft, at 44 years old?
I think I'm in the middle. Okay. I think most of our audience, a lot of it's older than me.
Can you name a single Arkansas tennis player, men or women's?
No.
Can you name a single golfer, men or women's?
Just citing the Lewis kid out of Fayetteville is transferring in, yeah.
Okay, but not even his first name. Can you name a single?
That's Luke Long.
Long. Okay. Can you name a single softball player?
Mary Half.
Okay. That's one. Can you name another?
No.
Autumn Storm.
And I'm doing this for with a purpose, with an intent. We know, and this is going to be a wake-up call for many student athletes making their way to campus. It's always football, followed by basketball, followed by baseball. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Welcome to life. Welcome to where the television rights are. Welcome to where the fans are. Now, Razorback fans will cheer for any sport, and especially if, like, the softball team hopping on board, the soccer team, but that is where the predominant portion of the audience and, more importantly, the clientele and customers are going to be. So this and certain student athletes will have great social media followings that they'll be able to market themselves,
and that's where they'll do well.
But that is a niche area, so that's just something that business 101. You're worth what someone's willing to pay you.
And if someone wants to go to a business and sign autographs and get a few $100, they'll be allowed to do that, I assume. So, hey, we're brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver. They're in Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith. They got a great selection of diamond earrings, diamond engagement rings, necklaces, pendants. Great selection of jewelry at all three locations. 1130 North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith.
Through next Friday, we're doing an Olympic type of event. Text us in 877-377-6963. Your favorite show across ESPN Arkansas between the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. You get one vote per listener, not per day, not 25 per day with the Golden Spikes. One vote for the listener. You can vote anytime. Just text it in 877-377-6963. That's through next Friday. Losers buy drinks. For Tommy, Clay, Drew, I'm Ty. We'll talk tomorrow on a Wednesday.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and